What's the most frequently asked question that attendees have been asking you today?
I suppose that people is curious to know why they should use our services instead of using their bank. So it's interesting for them to know the options we have, the savings that we can add, and also the security that the bank is not always the best option to transfer the funds.
What's the number one mistake that you see French property buyers making?
Probably in the currency side, I will say not planning. We used to say that foreign exchange is the biggest hidden cost in a property purchase, probably because people is very preoccupied with other aspects of the purchase, like where I'm going to buy, can I get a mortgage, and sometimes foreign exchange has been left at the last minute. So I think I will say planning is a big to-do list that is also often forgotten.
What are your predictions for the currency exchange market in 2023, particularly the euro sterling rate?
Well, we have started the year very flat, I would say, and I wish we had better news. I think the pound is going to suffer this year, especially against the euro. There's a recession in the UK and not great news ahead. However, I will say, I believe, COVID and certain things that have happened in the past has shown us that things can change very quickly. So I think that there is still room for improvement and rooms for ups and downs on the currency that could make a massive difference on someone's changing funds. So it's difficult to predict in these times. We have started the year not with the best hope for those selling sterling, but I think that things may improve and there is a bit more security on how the UK is gonna face this recession. And also think that the Europeans have more or less the same problems that we have here in the UK. So it's a kind of, depending on the week and the month and the decisions that the central banks are taking, we may see a little bit of volatility that is always interesting for buyers.
So it's more important than ever to get advice from a specialist.
Yes, I will say that probably that's what COVID showed us. But it's important to just get a bit of guidance and knowing what's the best thing to do and the different options that you have.
What's your top tip for people to save money when buying a property in France?
I suppose the planning bit is quite important, but I always say all the years that I've been in foreign exchange, it's very difficult to decide when is a good rate. And I think that my advice here will be to keep a look at the rate when you make an offer on the property. And that gives you a bit of a reference about where is a good rate and where is a bad rate. Because at the end of the day, it's all about your budget and your circumstances that will make you feel comfortable when it comes to press that button and change the funds. And also will tell you when you're saving money or not. Because if I find the property and the rate is 113 and I manage to exchange the funds at a higher rate, then certainly I'm saving. And if I am doing it at a lower rate, maybe the property becomes more expensive. And obviously, the advice here is to avoid going to a bank, to seek advice from a specialist. Specialists will not always give you a better rate of exchange, but also will give you a bit of guidance about the time to do the transfer, which could also be a key to save money. So plan, and get advice and get a bit of guidance on the best way to do things.
What would you say to buyers dreaming of buying a property in France in 2023?
I think the lovely thing about buying in France is that people buy in France for a love of France. The amount of people that I have spoken today, and they love France for the culture, the type of life, So I would say don't get too tangled in the details. Follow your dream of buying a property in France. It's great to be in a show like that to get all the information, but at the end of the day, don't lose the objective that is to find the dream home in France. So I think there's a bit of a gloomy start of the year, especially in the UK, and being in a show like that and seeing that people is still very passionate about moving to France is great.